Hi, how's it going?
Hey, I'm well, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited that your show is now, I just learned, approaching the fall finale. I've been watching
Yeah.
every week, and not even, you know what's funny is I haven't even been watching for research. I've been watching for fun because
Yes.
I like your show. I like how it's developed too. You know, it really feels like you've fallen into the rhythm.
Yeah.
Um, what's been your favorite scene to shoot episode so far?
Oh God, there's so many good ones. I do think one of my favorite, I'm so glad it's out, is the
Yeah,
dream sequence for Seven.
yeah.
Because just as an actor, especially as an actor in this role, there's a lot of limitations. I'm a hologram. I can't touch anything. Nobody talks to me. My fiance left. Everything back home is on fire. It's just, there's so many things. And I'm like, that's also stressful. I can't tell you that. Um, and then I get this wonderful fever dream moment where none of those rules apply. And it was so nice because Raymond Lee, who plays Ben, we don't get a lot of moments where we just get to be a free kind of couple.
Mm.
And it was so nice and rewarding as an actor to be able to play a moment where you're like, it's kind of outside of the storyline and completely devoid of context and like what that feels like. It was really, really, really fun.
Enjoyed that episode a lot. It was incredible that you had a Halloween episode that was actually on Halloween.
On Halloween. And it was like pretty scary.
Yeah,
I
it
was like,
was.
it's actually pretty like, all right.
But for you personally, where would you want to go back in time? Where would you want to go to?
So many places. Just to see some stuff. I might go to like ancient Greece because that
Mm.
seems really interesting. The whole you know, Jerusalem had some really pivotal moments in history.
Yeah.
Modern American history, probably the JFK assassination. I mean, there's just so many. I've said it before, but like what interests me and what I do like about the show too is sometimes we play with. There's moments in history. Well, I guess really every moment in history is this moment in history, but there's very pivotal moments where the die is cast and.
Mm.
If it goes this way, the world goes like this. And if it goes this way, the world goes like this. And that writes history. And those moments to me, I guess is just me, are just so interesting. And that's probably where I would center my focus if I could.
Tell me about your role as as an observer. I liked it in the last episode, as you mentioned, you couldn't make it. You couldn't be there. So to see you had to be sort of existing in a bit of a dream sequence. But do you feel like you yourself are an observer?
What do you mean? As in a character sense?
Like in real life, do you take stock of a room?
Oh,
Are you a watcher? Do you watch people a lot?
yeah. I am I try to pay attention to people and what they mean. And I think I'm blessed with a sensitivity to it, which has been very pivotal, both in my acting career, but also in this role, because she's watching Ben, but she's also watching everything else. And then she's dealing with what's going on. So she's always juggling a lot. As an actor, it's a very interesting set of challenges because, like I said, when you train as an actor, there's a lot of work that you do with props and setting and like appropriately working in the setting that you're in, where in this role, I am never appropriate for the setting.
Mm.
I don't even have a relationship with it outside of Ben and what he's going through. And I can't touch anything and I can't affect anything. And I had a wonderful note. We shot the last episode just last week, and this wonderful director gave me a note because it was this kind of emotional moment, and I didn't like it because I couldn't ground myself. I couldn't be somewhere and ground myself into what I had to say to Ben. And she gave me this wonderful note, which was, "You're uncomfortable because Addison's uncomfortable." And I was like, yep, that'll work. Let's go ahead and roll on that. And it was great. But it was another reminder of how frustrated she can be because she's just not there.
What do you like about the scenes that are set in the present future?
In the present, like oh yeah, in like 20, yes. I mean, I love them because I get Mason, and I get the great Ernie Hudson, and I get Nanrissa. And there's, I mean, poor Ray, the guy he's working all the time, and he never gets his family. Yeah. He's always in the Leaps. So I love them, not only because I can touch stuff, but because I'm real. So, and there's been multiple times where, I'm keeping it together in the Leaps, and then the realness comes out with the people that are really there. So I love them. Also, I get to, work with just the family, which is just so nice.
What is it like when you're doing a show like this, in episode to episode? There's pretty much, aside from the core players, a new cast every time. It's
awesome. I've got to meet some phenomenal actors, and I get to hang out with them and like have coffee, and you know what I mean? It's just, I was a transplant from New York, so it's been such a wonderful gift to be able to meet new actors. And we've had some just phenomenal, they've all been phenomenal. So it's so exciting, and it's such a class. I get to watch these just powerhouses just be amazing. And especially as somebody who's late to the game, I try not to waste those opportunities to learn.
Well, you just brought it up, so I'm going to ask it. What has that been like for you? You were talking about this year as first red carpet earlier in the year. All of this must be new to you as well. So how have you enjoyed that aspect? What's it been like coming to the game, so to speak?
To the game. Yes, I have arrived at the game. Well, it can be a bit overwhelming at times. But what's been awesome is that I have met some of the nicest, most welcoming people. No one on my show, like everybody on my show, has been incredibly kind and warm and supportive. And no one has ever made me feel, Ray in particular, like ever made me feel like I was dragging anybody. They were just so excited I was there. Ray's become not only a good friend of mine, but just a bit of a mentor, because he's who I spend most of my time with. Martin and Dean have been just spectacular. And like, even in these situations, like I haven't ran into a situation that I swear the world thinks exists where just everybody's mean. I'm sure it exists. I know it does. It can't, but I feel very lucky.
I want to draw back to, of course, how you got here, taking the path of the military, law school, the normal getting path. Through with the casting showcase, working through to your manager, being on the show. I don't want to say it's as simple as, you have a military background and then this show has sort of military elements to it, or, maybe Addison has that. But I feel like there's something more. When I'm watching your performance on the show, you seem, and not just because you're a hologram most of the time, but you seem kind of supercharged. There seems to be something sort of different flowing within you. It was just great to see. It was great to see that you were cast as one of the leads on the show with very little experience, but it translates so well. So, what do you think about this role and sort of how special or how fated it was? Yeah, my mentor in the business, Marcy Phillips, who put me in the ABC showcase, who really was the one who kind of plucked me from theater school and was like, okay, we're gonna try and help you. She always says that the role that you're meant for, you can't lose. And it was always one of those things where I was like, okay, yeah, sure, Marcy. Like, I'm going to take more classes and go meet more people and work really hard. And all of that was necessary, 100% necessary. I had to work that hard because I had to catch up. But I remember when I saw the breakdown for this role, I was like, I
be really good for this. And then I immediately thought, but they'll never, ever, 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 ever cast me for it. But then they did. And I know my military experience helps. There's intangibles that I can bring to it that I don't have to act, I don't have to think about, that just come with me into the room. But I also think it was the right role for me. And even without that experience, even if she wasn't military, I do think Addison and Caitlin are still kind of meant to be. So, have a little faith, pray that, and there's so many people in the process that could have fired me at this point. So I'm still here. No, I guess I'm okay.
Next week's episode is Stand By Ben, the fall finale. I've seen photos of it now. I'm very excited to see that episode. Just wanted to say overall, I will stand by you, especially now. Stand by you, stand by the show. And I've really enjoyed hearing from you. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thanks so much, Charles. Have a great day. It was lovely to meet you.